Good evening, good evening, good evening. What's Prairie View and Grambling doing over there? They was tied up. Okay. Southern is in the house. Alabama A&M. You know he was over there scouting. I don't know what you over there scouting for. I don't know what you over there scouting for, Jay White. You see it. Jackson State's running back room versus your running back room. Okay. Still at 24-17. Let's see if Prairie View can push out this win. It is a must win for Prairie View, who's 0-2 in SWAC play, in conference play, and in the SWAC West. So a win over Grambling would be really big for them right now. Let me see. First and 12 on the TSU 42-yard line. We're in the fourth quarter. Amari Matthews. See, we got running backs after running backs. Okay. And Zy McDonald is in. Interesting, you guys. Very interesting. Zy McDonald is in. Somebody has summoned Mr. Ford. You know, Mr. Ford, I don't know if he's going to come on tonight. I don't know. Y'all want to call Mr. Ford to the floor and Uncle Willie and Brother Bakari? Y'all want to call him to the floor? Huh? Should we call him to the floor? Yeah. The final score? Is it over? My sidearm stats ain't updating. It says it's still going. Are you sure that's the final score? Oh, there we go. Come on up here, Willie.
He made it big time, Willie. Willie! Willie! He go! Willie!
I knew that I had to use this for other needs. Uncle Willie, you have been summoned. Anybody that had a lot to say, including myself from last Saturday. Coach TC has a message for everybody. I'm going to play it for you guys. I'm going to play it for you. Hang on, I got to find them. Because he made a statement talking to Mr. Ford, Uncle Willie, Brother Bakari, the old heads, the new heads, the young heads. Here's the message that TC has for everybody. Wait, let me move this out the way so you can see. He said, when it comes to being a head coach and a play caller,
playing with my fucking name. All three of y'all, stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
You done cursed us out. Get it off your chest, Birdman.
I just come to let y'all know, stop, put some respect on my name. I'm playing with my fucking name. All three of y'all, stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no.
He said he ain't gonna say it no more. Okay. Hey, Uncle Willie.
Hey, how you doing, love?
Good.
We well, I see they made adjustments. Number 7 is out of my bad list now. But number 1 and number 5, they still screwing up. I think
Wait. Number 7 is Reed Pulliam. Number
right.
1 is K5 turning into K1.
Yeah, and number 1, they allowed, they're not making plays on the ball on the defensive end. Number 7, he stepped up. I think he had like 1.5 sacks tonight. He was all over the field. It seemed like he heard something, and it lit a fire. But
He said, "Stop playing with my name too."
but number 1 and number 5, they still spectating. They still out there spectating.
I feel
I
like
think those.
okay, so you're not going to. There's going to be times where you drop, right? There's going to be times where the ball gets dropped, right? But overall, Jackson State's defense did a phenomenal.
It was lights out.
Half performance. Second half, it was just penalties, which they're going to clear that up. But baby,
well, tonight they were so upbeat. It seemed like FBS school against Division school or Division 2 school. I mean, that's how the speed was at times that our defense was looking. And Jacobian just put on a pretty good show. 4 touchdowns, almost 200 yards. Yeah, he put on a good show. I hope the naysayers can. A lot of naysayers got upset. I know they did. I'm not going to hit you what they do.
Let me read Jacobian's stats. So Jacobian had a QBR of 159.7. He had 13 completions, for 22 attempts. No interceptions tonight. 185 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. His longest was a 44, and he was only sacked 1 time. So shout out to the offensive line. Rushing wise, the rushing is insane, right? Jacobian Morgan had 10 attempts for 101. Of course, we all know he had 72 was his longest rushing yard, and he had 2 touchdowns. So he had 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 passing touchdowns. So decent performance, right? He spread the ball around with the receivers for Tillian, Henderson, Isaiah Spencer. I don't know why that says Nobles. Dupree, Terrell, Landy. So everything. I love the spreading the offensive spread, right? Spread offense. Excuse me.
Yeah, the ball was spread around equally. The white people they had calling the game, they called the game pretty good tonight.
Ooh, they said ULM just beat Troy. ULM just beat Troy. Troy who beat FAMU, and not too bad. And you see how close we played ULM.
We could have beat ULM.
Exactly.
So is the Grambling game over with?
It's 4th and 8, Grambling's ball. It's 24-17, Prairie View. This would be a really big win for Prairie View, right? Huge win for Prairie View, right? Because I'm pretty sure they'd actually be coming back bragging different, right? Because they're 0-2 in the SWAC West. So a win over Grambling would shake things up a little bit.
Whoa. What happened with Alcorn and Valley today?
Alcorn and Valley got their behind whooped.
Damn. I was looking for Valley to upset Alcorn.
I was looking forward to that too. It didn't come this year. Let me go look at the final score because I basically had to do all my scores, enter them in. Alcorn won 42-14. Or no, there's 36 seconds left. Prairie View, there's 1 minute and 18 seconds. They're leading 24-17. Alabama State with a close win, 26-21 versus Bethune Cookman.
I seen that game. Oh, Bethune almost got in that behind.
Almost doesn't count.
It was just a couple of plays. It was just a couple of plays. You should have seen the game. They got in that behind. Bethune got in that behind today. I
We
think
need
we're gonna.
Bethune.
I don't think we're gonna have a problem with if they play Jackson the way that they played Bethune. It will be Jackson State by 40. Bethune got in that ass today.
Did
Yeah, they really did.
so?
Ask somebody that's seen it.
So Alabama State normally doesn't. They usually hold their offense to 15 points per game. So this is uncharacteristic of them to allow Bethune Cookman to even score that extra touchdown, right? I'm gonna pull up the stats for that Bethune Cookman game. I know
You need to
that
go.
a lot of folks was kind of upset with Coach, but Coach was bringing in millions of dollars. I need folks to take a chill pill, right? I think Coach Woodie done bought in at least $1.5 million since his time being there. Yes, winning is very important to a program, but in the grand scheme of things, y'all need to slow y'all roll before you just up and replace somebody just because they're not having that decent of a season.
Right.
He's bought a lot to the program, and a lot has transpired in his second year being there. They just finished that field and stuff this year, so chill out a little bit. All right. Let me see. Wow. They do not have I don't even know how they scored offensively. How did they score? How did Alabama State score? Uncle Willie.
I don't know.
Because it says that they must have defensively scored. Let me pull up these stats. And Alabama State and Bethune is going to be the only one that has their score on here.
Okay. I'm trying to recall the game today.
Okay, so it says Zach Sims was 8 of 12 for 78 yards. He had one touchdown that was 19 yards long, and he had 3 sacks. And that was it for passing. Everything else was rushing.
Yeah, it was like a sloppy game, but Bethune they was handling them up in the trenches. They wasn't Alabama State couldn't get loose on them. They couldn't get off on them at all.
Cam Ransom was 18 for 28 for 143 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So this was a defensive-led game, obviously, right?
Yeah, I would say that.
I mean,
wait a minute, Grambling came back.
No, I thought they had. Is it overtime?
Okay.
I thought it was over.
Okay.
How did Grambling win? They did a 2-point conversion? Prairie View, I know Grambling's ass ain't losing. What is going on? Let me look up Grambling. They were just losing. There's no way that they did. There's no if Bubba McDowell was winning and there was like less than a minute left and they allowed them to not only score but do a 2-point conversion.
No, man, no.
Tell me that ain't true.
No.
What happened? Let's see.
No, I don't think that happened. I think somebody was just talking, jumping the gun in the chat.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? They were up by 7. How is that possible? I mean, Grambling did have the ball, but
it's first and goal.
Oh, Lord. First and 10 on Prairie View's 9-yard line. Both Prairie View and Grambling still have 1 timeout. Prairie View is ahead 24, leading Grambling 24-17. 2nd and 12, so it looks like they got sacked. It said Trey Bradford rushed to the right for a loss of 3 yards to the Prairie View 12-yard line. Bryce Turner y'all, this game is so close. Let me take this thing off so y'all can see.
Wow. See,
this is for a battle of the West. This is like this. Prairie View has to win here. They don't want to take it to overtime, I'm sure.
This week been crazy.
Lord.
I really I hadn't been this intense in HBC. I just normally just follow Jackson State, but I'm watching a lot of games this year, including the MEAC. And I wish we could schedule Howard and a couple more of those teams more often. I would have loved to play Howard or Hampton or someone instead of playing Grambling for a non-conference game this year.
Stay tuned for next year.
Good deal.
Grambling 12-yard touchdown. Touchdown scored by Joe Johnson on a pass from Miles Crawley. Damn, Crawley should have been my quarterback. That man over here doing it. I think I had David Wright as my quarterback. Oh my God, it's going to overtime.
But they got to get the extra point, right?
I mean, or a 2-point conversion to end it. It just depends on how bully is the coach. How much of a bully is Coach Mickey Joseph? Kick is good. They just scored. Wow. 38 seconds left on the clock. Tied and going to overtime.
Grambling blew a 17-7 lead.
Prairie View, Bubba McDowell got to pull this out. He got to pull it out.
Yeah, that would shake things up in the West.
Otherwise, it's like Grambling straight to the...
Which is all right, but now tell me this. If we went out, Grambling went out, do we still get home field advantage? Or would it swing over to Grambling?
I think it goes to overall.
Head to head?
No, overall record. And then if your overall record is tied, then it would be Grambling.
Okay.
So basically, whoever has the best overall record. Oh, they're saying it goes to Grambling. Because Grambling has the one up. I thought it was best overall. And then whoever has the best overall record.
Well, see,
and
that's
then
the reason.
If it's tied, like if Grambling ends with the same record as us, then
it goes to the head-to-head.
It goes to the head-to-head, right?
I wouldn't think that the head-to-head would factor in since it's not a
non-conference game.
A non-conference game.
It's the best overall record. That's what I just said, Freddie. I said if Jackson State or Grambling, whoever has the best overall record, if Jackson State and Grambling is tied for an overall record, then it goes to who beat who, which would be Grambling. Anyway, I cannot believe it went to overtime. 2nd and 3rd on Prairie View's 32-yard line. Robert Bell, what happens if they both have the best record? What if they have the same record? Then what happens? Okay, so one thing that I would like to say is that I want to say that between Alabama State and Jackson State, we would be in the SWAC East now that we actually have a conference win. FAMU's no longer in first place. You know why that is, right?
They lost today.
No, FAMU didn't play at all today, but
they had a bye.
Alabama State and Jackson State have a conference win.
And now FAMU hadn't played conference play yet.
So Alabama State is 3-2, and Jackson State is 3-2. And FAMU hasn't played an in-conference game yet. So they'll probably have Alabama State first because their letter starts with an A. So they'll have Alabama State first, Jackson State second. No, I'm serious. That's how it's going to look. Crawley ain't even played good today. That was a lucky play. Oh, shit. You saying he didn't play good? That ain't what I'm looking at. Let me see. Grambling passing. You say he didn't play that good. Crawley is 29 of 47 completions for 286 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have 2 interceptions. His completion percentage is at 62%.
That's pretty fair.
Right. Prairie View's played 2 quarterbacks. Jay Johnson is 9 of 15 for 75 yards, 60% completion percentage. And then Peters, I want to say that's Cam Peters, is 7 of 11 for 81 yards, 1 interception, 64% completion percentage. The Prairie View quarterbacks do not have passing touchdowns. As far as offensively, Prairie View has 271 total yards and Grambling has 355. So it's a stark difference. It looks like Prairie View's been playing hard for this particular game. Like you said, they get up for this particular game. But anyway, they're in overtime, and we'll go ahead and look at that later. Let's get down to these Jackson State stats.
Yeah, I want to know what that defense stat.
You want to know the defensive stats?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know why it hasn't updated yet, but whatever. Reed Pulliam had 3 solo tackles, 4 assists for 7 total tackles, and 1 tackle for loss for 8 yards. Dang, Joshua Nobles has 4 solo tackles, 2 assist tackles for 6 total tackles. He has tackle for loss 20 yards.
Yeah,
Webb has tackles for loss 29 yards.
Who got
Philip Webb, the LSU transfer,
yeah.
29 tackle for loss yards
tonight?
Yes. Day Bright, he definitely made some really big tackles. Jay Ward, Robert McDaniel, Sherman Hawkins.
Wait a minute, you said 29 tackles tonight. You said 29 tackles tonight?
No, 29 tackle for loss yards.
Oh. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. It says Guthrie's with the 1 interception for 28 yards. Okay.
Oh, Guthrie had a pretty good. He had an interception also, I believe. Yeah. Isaiah Guthrie, number 9. I think he had an interception.
6. He's number 6.
No, number 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had an interception. I think. Didn't he have an interception? Somebody had.
Did you see that kick return by Travis Terrell?
No, I was leaving from the outside. I was on my front porch and I came in, and I didn't even see the replay.
They did say Evan Henry did not come back in for the rest of the game.
He's going to be all right. That's the big offensive lineman.
Yes, that's our. He's first team all SWAC. He was at SWAC Media Day. We don't have a word out on his status. I will say this: even after his exit, the offensive line did do a great job of holding the line. Jacobian only got sacked 1 time.
When did Miller get hurt? I didn't think he was hurt.
I don't know. It wasn't this game because he didn't play.
He didn't seem hurt last game, but I was kind of upset with those guys not rotating him and Number 5 wasn't Mulligan wasn't rotating in and out, so I was kind of upset with TC for that. But I was
think they
happy
did a
that
really good job of the kid. So can you talk a little bit about the offense today? Because you had a lot to say last week on what they needed to do. So
well,
offensively, with the play calling.
I think okay. I think the offense improved a whole lot this week. The only thing that I have to say about the offense, they're not setting their plays up. I think they should be able to. I think they should bring in that other tight end and put number 0 in the slot. I think they should utilize a tight end by doing a lot of run plays, doing a lot of short passes, 3 to 5 yard passes with the tight end that'll open up the run play and it'll open up the over the top play. They're not using their tight ends the correct way. They're not setting their plays up. They're just calling plays. He's not setting his plays up. A lot of those plays that he's running out, it don't make sense for you to run to the short side of the field, run a sweep to the short side of the field. He have good plays, but he's not setting them up right. And I think that's where you have a good offensive coordinator that you can trust. It's a lot of pressure on him being the head coach and the offensive coordinator. He has outstanding plays, but the timing of the plays and when he called the plays are.
They were up. They're up. They finished out 43-14, which for the defense, 14 is the magic number that they had, last week as far as like Miles Crawley offensively.
Mm-hmm.
They're holding the offense to 2 touchdowns outside of, and this particular game we didn't necessarily see. We saw some penalties in the second half, but we didn't see instances where the defense had to fight with really short fields. I thought the offense did a good job of staying on the field this game. And allowing the defense to rest. I think one of their drives was like 8 minutes long. Even though we only kicked a field goal on that particular drive, we just basically ran the clock.
Shoot the clock up. Well, someone said in the chat, the difference was Morgan started the game. He was quarterback the whole game.
Wait, so doesn't PV doesn't get a chance to score? PV about to lose their trash. Grambling just scored. So I thought Grambling started. Doesn't PV get a chance to score now?
They supposed to.
That's what I thought. Okay, so Grambling's up 31-24. So this is a must touchdown situation for Prairie View. If Prairie View drops 0-3 in the SWAC West, they've lost to Southern, they've lost to Texas Southern, and now this Grambling game, hang it up flat screen, right?
Wow, they lost to Texas Southern. Yeah,
that was the first game of the Labor Day.
They're not going. They don't have a chance. They don't stand a chance. You see how we went through those boys tonight? They went through them like a hot knife through butter. They didn't.
I think that there was some added aggressiveness, right, to this game because obviously folks was mad about from last week, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't blame them. I don't have no complaints. They started number 15. I don't have no complaints. I knew it was going to be all right once they started number 15. But I believe that's the determining factor. The team played better. They responded better. The offense responded better when Morgan is in the game and everything. I mean, it just things run a lot smoother. And for those people that didn't think that Morgan could run, you seen that 7-8 yard run.
Who said that he couldn't run? It wasn't that he couldn't run. That wasn't the problem. We didn't. Okay, so for me, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh my God. Some of those plays where he decided to run, I was kind of nervous just because, you know.
That's a big old boy. That boy, he like Cam Newton. He's a big old boy. He ain't gonna hardly get. I'm not saying he can't get hurt, but he's less likely getting hurt than
He can
McCoy
take
is.
a hit is basically what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, he can probably deliver one too. I don't think too many defensive backs are gonna try to step in the way and try to stop him. He's a big boy. That's a big old rascal. And then he can run. He got a little speed.
Lord, we need it. I mean,
It seemed like everybody got their fingers crossed trying to hope Prairie View pull this out.
everybody, folks on the SWAC East wanting Grambling to lose. Dang, why y'all want Grambling to lose? 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4. They're on Grambling State. Let me act like I'm an announcer. On Grambling State's 4-yard line.
Oh, really?
Now, Lamigia rushed up the middle for a gain of 2 yards to the Grambling State University's 4-yard line. This is for the tie. This is a must-win situation. What's happening? Nothing's happening. Touchdown, Prairie View by Savage on a pass from Jay Johnson.
Wow, what they gonna do? Go for 2 or go for the 1? If they could go for the 2 and pull this out, boy.
Prairie View, huh?
If they could go for the 2 and pull this out.
No, don't be putting that in their head. Knock them off, huh? Just go ahead and hit them with
Well, because I want to host the SWAC championship.
You want who?
I want Jackson to host the SWAC championship this year. So I'm
don't go
praying
for
for.
2. And the Prairie View, they kicked the extra point. Okay. And they tie it up 31-31 for a second overtime. The field goal is good.
Now I think both teams have to go for a touchdown now. If I'm not mistaken.
Defense need to step it up. Overtime number 2. Double overtime, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna do a poll to see how many folks want Grambling to win and how many folks want Prairie View to win. Y'all,
I want Prairie View to win.
Everybody's cheering for Prairie View to win. Y'all are who do you want to win?
See what happens when you put your all into beating Jackson State. You struggle the following week.
Ooh. You know what? It's funny because somebody said that, like, somebody said like Grambling was going to be on that same high that Jackson State was on, but Grambling's battling it out. We wasn't even close. So there's that. JSU gave the game away last week. PV, get a stop. Oh, Ladarius calling us y'all PV fans. Yeah, we PV fans. PV. You said you want Grambling to win. No, Chris, they need some losses in the SWAC. What are you doing? If you are a Jackson State fan, you want Grambling to lose. You want them to lose a couple of games. Lose to Prairie View and lose to Southern. Drop 2. It says Connor rush up the middle for no gain to the Grambling State's 25-yard line. 1st and 10. Okay, so I have a question. So when it's double overtime, because I can't see right now. Oh, Prairie View starting with the ball for double overtime. Okay.
I think they have to go for a touchdown.
I know they have to go for a touchdown, but they have to. What I'm saying is, yeah, they have to go for a touchdown, and then if they don't get it, Grambling can just score a field goal, right, for the win.
How did that work out? I was asking my son.
Yeah, because if you don't score, then all the other team needs to do is score a field goal. Come on, PV. Y'all, I I have a dang, yeah, 90%. Yeah, everybody wants Prairie View to win. It's simple math though, right? If Prairie View drops Grambling, and then Grambling loses to Southern, that'll be good for us, right?
Yeah, that'll put us back in hosting.
Even though it was a non-conference game, it'll be good for us.
We'll be back in the running for hosting the SWAC championship. That's what we're trying to get.
So it's 3rd and 3 on Grambling State's 18-yard line. We're in double overtime. Jackson State already beat the Tiger Stripes off of the Texas Southern Tigers. Alcorn shook the devil off in Itabena, Mississippi. And Alabama State Hornets stung the Wildcats. Ladarius, why you being messy? The 5th quarter is not even over yet. They said Texas Southern won the 5th quarter versus JSU. Is that true? No. The Ocean lost their soul tonight, fooling around with the Sonic Boom of the South.
Texas Southern ain't never beat Jackson State in no band competition. Never that I never heard of them. Maybe I was in a coma or something. I never heard Texas Southern win. Now, anyway, okay.
Whitley, and what you being messy for?
Well, I'm just saying.
What you being messy for? Well, we know Graham ain't winning the 5th. Okay, so what's going on? It's 4th and 3rd. 4th and 3rd on Grambling State's 18-yard line. It's the 4th down.
Damn.
Field goal attempt by Prairie View. So basically, they have to stop Grambling from getting a
touchdown. I don't
think they do. Prairie View 35-yard field goal.
Now, if they can stop Grambling from scoring a touchdown,
7 yards. I don't care how tired you are, Prairie View defense. You got to pull it out. No Diddy.
Boy, Diddy done got into some trouble. Cat Williams said a lot of stuff going to be revealed this year.
Cat Williams knew that they was on Diddy's behind. Diddy knew it too. Let's get a stop, PV. This is a good time to do an interception and sit on the ball, PV. What's up, TJ?
What's going on?
You got to turn your phone down.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I'm loud.
You good?
Okay.
We're just finishing out the Prairie View versus Grambling game because we need for Prairie View to win. We want them to beat Grambling so that Grambling is not literally already taken out 3 teams in the SWAC West. They get an interception, the game is over. Or forced fumble, anything.
Any kind of turnover.
Any type of turnover on downs.
Hey, Timona.
What's up?
What about them? What about them? What about
How
them
about them
Tigers?
How
What
about
about
them
them
Jackson
Tigers?
State Tigers? How about
Yes,
them?
What about that defense out there looking like the Steelers, man?
Not the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm a
diehard Steelers fan.
What year is that, Willie, that the Bears had a stout defense? Is it 84?
85.
85. How about them 1985 Chicago Bears?
Boo.
One of the best defenses assembled.
Yeah, 85. I knew it was around there somewhere.
Well, we're gonna take it back to 75, 74, Steel Curtain. You don't get no better than that.
They were pretty good, but they wasn't good as the 85 Bear.
Oh,
I can remember. Look, Look here. I can remember that whole Dunny Shell. You had a couple of swag players on that team. You had Dunny Shell. You had
Mean Joe
Jack
Green.
Lambert, Mean Joe Green, LC Greenwood. Yeah, I remember the whole team. I'm just not a Steelers fan or a Cowboys fan, but I remember. I mean, I just watched the game, but they was a pretty good defense, and I love that defense. But the '85 Bears they wasn't nothing to play with. They was hell.
Oh,
Man, they was hell.
he said Philip Webb was looking like a Mean Joe Green today.
He was all over the field. Number 2.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say, who is that linebacker with them dreads that we got? Oh, he the truth.
He
Talking
is,
about
man.
Pulliam, number 7.
No, he talking about number 2. No, he talking about number 2.
Well, who is the linebacker with the dreads that was all over the
I
field?
don't know. Reed Pulliam was number 7.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, that's what you talking about.
4th and 4 on Prairie View's 19. A stop here will guarantee that Prairie View wins the game.
Whoa, 4th down.
4th down. Okay, they're saying Joshua Nobles is number 2.
That's who he is. Joshua. That boy
Brandon's
going.
about to kick a field goal. Dang.
Oh, yeah, what?
Block it. Oh. Wah, wah,
He made it.
wah, wah, wah. Do they go to a 3rd overtime? Or is it just
Yeah, the
time?
3rd overtime is the one they have to go for. They have to go for the score. The 3rd overtime, I think they have to go for the score. You probably, yeah.
All right. This game went way over.
So Tamono, how did you rate the game today? What did you like about the game today?
Defense in the first half, an A. Offense in the first half, B-. Second half, defense, I'm gonna give them a B because of B- because of the penalties. B, I'll give them a B. And then the offense, they turned it up a notch. I'll give them a A.
Solid B+.
Solid B. I loved it. TC basically was telling y'all stop playing with his name. So the only question that we have is this offense doable? Special teams was definitely an A.
Oh yeah, man. Travis, I knew he was going to. He was getting like I forget how many. He was getting like 20, 30 yards a pop. I said he gonna break one before the night over, and he did.
And did return one. Said
Seemed like TC was listening, don't it?
I don't know who's listening.
Somebody was listening.
Only if he can add. Listen,
so I don't know I don't even know if it was a matter of which. Thank you so much. Which anybody, if you guys have questions, I need to drop that link so that you can because I do the coaches call on Mondays. So if you guys have questions, you can send them to me and I might ask them.
Okay.
That don't mean the coach is going to answer them, and it might not be.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him. Can he add another tight end and put
Travis
in the slot? And
we
2 tights.
Yeah, man. St. Louis,
man, we do that. Oh my God, we're gonna be so deadly. We do that.
Unstoppable on offense.
Oh man.
Same thing I was saying earlier, Timona. Extra tight end, put that number 0 in the slot, and switch out Mulligan and Miller, and just run it down their throats and throw it over the top occasionally. Yeah, we'll put up 40, 50 points every game.
So I understand Coach TC not answering my question, right? Why would you say, yeah, I'm going to pick one quarterback? You got to keep folks on their toes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though everybody was screaming and hollering about you need to start Jacoby Morgan. Jacoby Morgan needs to be there for the whole game. Like, even even though, people were saying these things, he's not going to be like, yeah, I'm going to select one quarterback. No. And then moving forward, that doesn't necessarily mean, it says, did they change the overtime rules? What does that mean? Every year the NCAA comes up with some more BS. Who knows? Offense still has room for improvement. And so here's the only question, right? The question that a lot of people are going to have is, how does this offense work against Alabama State? If we're looking or more, so I would see, if we're going to do like a tier on which teams are more formidable, you would say
I watched that
Alabama
Alabama.
State
I
and
watched that
FAMU.
that
Alabama State
game.
and FAMU are the more formidable opponents in the SWAC that are left on our schedule, right? Grambling popped us in the mouth, and you see where they're at. They're 34-34, tied up with Prairie View, but they popped us in the mouth really good and scored 41 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is our offense going to be able to do that against FAMU and Alabama State, which those are the two must-win games that are on our schedule.
I'm gonna say this: Alabama
He
State,
did throw
Alabama,
to Handy. He missed it. We threw it to
Alabama,
Handy. He missed it.
Alabama State offense is mediocre.
I'm
It's
not talking about I'm not worried about their offense. Offensively, I'm not worried about. They already have said that Jackson State leads the SWAC in scoring, right? Averaging 33 points per game. Jackson State leads, right? So I'm not worried about Alabama State's scoring. I'm concerned with their defense versus our offense. Our
mediocre, man.
defense is stout. Like we
They mediocre, man. Anytime Bethune Cookman, man, I sat and watched the whole game, and really Bethune Cookman beat themselves. To be honest, if we're gonna keep it real, they beat themselves. They shot their own self in the foot because they had the game though. But football. So
So you're saying Bethune Cookman lost it, and that's the thing.
yep,
Like
yep,
you
they
just
did.
want to see. You want to see if Jackson State's or offense is going to be as dynamic as it was today against teams that are better defensively.
I say Texas Southern D line is better than Alabama State's D line.
No,
No,
absolutely not.
yes,
Alabama
they
State.
is.
No, they're
Yeah,
not.
they
Alabama
they they
Alabama's
atrocious.
defense is number one in the SWAC. And on top of that, regardless if it was an in-conference game or an out-of-conference game, they were holding the opponents to roughly 15 yards a game. So Alabama State's defense is definitely way better than Texas Southern. And it would actually be a disservice for anybody to go into a game at home for Alabama State. It's at home to go in there thinking that Alabama State's defense is not that good. Number one in the SWAC.
So what they rank Jackson State?
Southern Jackson State's third, which after this week, Jackson State should be we're probably going to be second. Let me put that up. Yeah, so it would be a disservice for us to even put that out in the atmosphere that Alabama State doesn't have a good defense, because it's simply not true at all. They have the best defense in the SWAC. And 4 games, they've allowed 9 touchdowns, 2 field goals, and 7 extra points, 67 points, averaging 16.8 per game. And this is probably not updating. This might actually have updated the Bethune Cookman game, because it was 15 point something last week. Southern is at 22. Jackson State is at 23.3. With this particular game against Texas Southern, that should move Jackson State into the second spot. And then Jackson State is first in offense, 16 touchdowns in five field goals, 14 extra points. I'm pretty sure that's not including this week's total. Huh? A fifth overtime. So when does it end in a tie? Okay, the SWAC might be on ESPN. Overtime number 5. So if Prairie View gets a touchdown, then what? Who has Bama State defense been tested against? Samford and Alabama State has been tested against Samford, which is an out-of-conference opponent. They held them to, I want to say, was it 12 points? I think they lost 12-7, I want to say. Couldn't get it going offensively, but defensively, they held them to 12 points. All right, so they lost to Samford 7-12. Miles College, they held them to 3 points. And then North Carolina Central was 24-31. And then Bethune Cookman was 21-26. So defensively, Samford is probably which right now Samford is 1-2. Let me see who else they played. They played Florida and West Georgia. They scored 29 points on West Georgia. And they were supposed to play Furman, but it got postponed. And so, yeah. So we're in Grambling penalty, holding 1 yard penalty on Sealy Collins accepted at the what? A 1 yard penalty. What kind of penalties they got going on here? What the hell is a 1 yard penalty going to do? They need to be doing loss of downs. They need to be doing loss of downs, not no 1 yard penalty. Or do you guys get your first down again? What's going on? Ball between the 1 and 2 yard line. And we have a flag on the play. Goal line. Georgia done walked Alabama down. Uh-oh. Woo! Prairie View win! Woo! Go Prairie View! 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 Okay, Panthers. Lionel, don't come over here talking mess, Lionel. We don't want to hear it. Said, stay in the comments. You know who's coming next. The PV folks are gonna come in here loud and proud, boy. Bye, Grambling. Let me go make fun of let me go tag Yard Talk, because Yard Talk posted my video when me and that man, I forgot his name, Winfred, when we were going back and forth on the verses. She posted me bragging and lost today. Upset of the week. Tell them Prairie View folks don't come up over here loud. Tell Said to stay out. It was only a 2-point conversion in the 5th overtime. I've never even heard of that before. North Carolina Central would have been a blowout if their quarterback wasn't inconsistent. I want to say that Norfolk State only scored 10 points. So 10 points to 37, I want to say. That's pretty much a blowout. Look at Prairie View. Look at Prairie View. Okay. They pulled it out in a 5th overtime. I do not want to hear Prairie View fans. You know they're going to be talking big mess. Big PV. This ain't over for us. We still got a way to win. We have a path to win. Blah, blah, blah. Nick, you are wrong for that. Oh my goodness. Yo, they were like on that Forrest Gump movie. I gotta find Bubba. No, he deserves a Gatorade bath. This was the State Fair Classic. See, it's one thing to do a Gatorade bath at a home game, at a non-conference home game. We don't have to be shady and talk about that. But when it's a classic, you can do those things at a classic. Y'all being shady for no reason. Oh, y'all folks be shady. Talk about no Gatorade bath. You can do a Gatorade bath at a classic. His job was on the line. They said, I gotta find Bubba. Yeah, that was a non-conference home game. Listen, everybody get up for Jackson State. We get it. We are definitely every game that we go to, it's like a classic. We get it. We get it. See? Now Gremlin's Glamlin. Why did you say that? Are they taking somebody asked Yard Talk, does she lose her G this week? EA, we're SWAC over here. We might talk a little MIAC, a little SIAC, a little CIAA, but we don't. Ain't nobody care. Why is folks saying Gremlin deserves that? Gremlin deserved to lose. Dang, y'all are hard on Gremlin. Wah, 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 wah. Gremlin lose when Hey, I'm not reading no more comments. I'm gonna just put them up here. I'm not gonna read them because y'all are getting kind of out of pocket, and I don't need folks coming for me like I said it. Okay. So for Coach Mickey Joseph, a win against Jackson State, it was a big win because even though it wasn't counted as a conference game, it was his first SWAC win. See, I should have went. I should have bet y'all. What was the over and under on that? What was the over and under on that? All right, so I'm gonna pull up week 6. So, we had a good. I don't know about y'all, but we had a good day. It's a great day to be a Tiger, a Jackson State Tiger, might I add. Ooh, wee! All the stars aligned on that one right there. Said, you gonna come up here and brag about how y'all finally won in the SWAC West? Prairie View A&M. I didn't even know you guys could go to overtime 5 times. 5 times in a row, 5 times in a row. Ooh, look at him talking mess. Y'all know I was coming regardless. You wasn't coming. Not if you was 0-3. You was not coming. Oh my goodness. Right, a tigerific day for thee, I love. I don't know about y'all, but them Jackson State Tigers had a great day. A great day. You see us? You see us? Here, let me put it up there for you. If it had gone any further, they would have been thumb wrestling. Nick, is that going on the calendar? A 5 OT? Ed, why you had to point out the one Texas Southern fan? Why you had to point that out? What you being messy for? Talking about the one. All right, so let's go ahead and end this poll and see what it's looking like. So 86% of you guys wanted for Prairie View to win out of 132 votes, and Prairie View out. Y'all find God's beginning and tell him that the Jackson State Tigers took Texas Southern to the end. God's beginning and end. What's up, Sid? Wait, let me put the Prairie View folks up here. Here you go. There you go. Prairie View versus Grambling.
Let's go. Let's go. It's a proud day to be a Panther. I'm excited.
Oh, you proud to be a Panther today?
I'm always proud to be a Panther. It's a good day to be a Panther. One thing about PV, we gonna make it suspenseful and make it harder than what it need to be. I mean, that game was over. We dominated that game in the second half, and man, it was almost deja vu of last week. A long Hail Mary at the end of the game, and they give them the first down, and then they score to go into overtime. Ah man, but you duly gonna do.
You got a little pep in your step.
I got a little swag. I got a little swag today. I got a little swag. I got a little swag in myself today. You're right. You're right. Got a little pep. Ah man, that one was gonna hurt if they won that game in overtime. I ain't gonna lie, because that game last week was brutal. This game this week was much like last week. We should have won that game. We were up in the game. We had the momentum, and some crazy Hail Mary pass. I think our DB coach. I don't normally do negative talk about coaches, but our DB coach, we gotta get man. 2 games in a row where the DBs are not in the right position. That we made that game harder.
Hold up now. Are they playing off man? Were they playing man coverage, zone? What they doing?
It was a zone. It was, and here's what was sad. It was 4th and 20. 4th and 20. Miles Crawley.
Why would you play man coverage on 4th and 20?
No. It was a zone. It was a zone. Oh, okay. It's 2 defenders.
You're saying that they're out of place. Zone coverage was the right call. So why are you blaming the DB coach? You need to be blaming the DBs.
That too. Our DBs is trash, but I'm blaming the DB coach because this is an issue that we have been talking about since last season. Didn't go out and recruit anybody. I won't call any kid's name out, but why do we still have the same kid that got torched last year starting this year? That means we didn't do anything when it came to recruiting. So that's one of my major gripes. And I knew that was our weaknesses going into this game. The front seven.
Don't be sharing all your weaknesses, because contrary to popular belief, some folks do listen to this. And I might just clip this part because it's like a Prairie View section, you know. Prairie View brings out, they go ahead and they have a shocking 36-34 win in not 1 overtime, not 2 overtimes, not 3 overtimes, not 4 overtimes, but 5 overtimes.
Yeah, that one was brutal. Thank you, Dooley. If you're gonna make a clip, thank you, Dooley, with the horrible play calling around the end. One thing Dooley gonna do is Dooley, and doing those. I mean, he just ran Crowley into the ground. They had some pretty solid running backs. I don't know why he didn't give it to the running back. He kept giving the ball to Crowley on the quarterback option keeper, and that's just not gonna happen with PV's front seven. And they play right into the strengths of PV, which is our front seven. Our front seven, our linebackers are pretty stout, and I think
Mhm.
people, if you go watching this game, you'll see how deep Prairie View's running back room is. Our running back room is a monster, is a beast. We did a
I
good
want to
job
look at
running.
these stats and what it ended up being. So it looked like Gremlin had 386 total yards and versus Prairie View, and you're I 303 yards for Prairie View. Pass yards 185 versus Gremlin had 286 passing yards. Yeah, your DBs are letting them just throw it every which way, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Rush yards, you guys are talking about your running backs. You only had 118 rushing yards. But it's pretty balanced. Your pass yards and your rush yards are pretty balanced, I guess you could say that. And then Gremlin only had 100 rush yards, which tells me that their running back their running back room or their rushing is not that good, because it was kind of similar to last week where they couldn't really run the ball. So did y'all just get lucky?
No. We played really good this game. And here's a key tidbit.
Oh, you
You,
guys got all rushing touchdowns. One, two, three rushing touchdowns,
yeah,
one uh passing touchdown, a lot of rushing touchdowns. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Russian was doing really good. And defense. I'm proud of the defense because everybody says PV doesn't have a defense. I think we had 4 sacks in this game, and two.
We didn't say that. You guys showed that last year when you got beat by FAMU, and then you got beat by FAMU again. So we didn't say that. That's what we saw last year. And now you're telling us that you didn't necessarily recruit the DB room.
Yeah, but our defensive front seven did really good. We had a lot of
Okay.
sacks this game. I don't know if it was 4 sacks, I believe. I'm not sure, but we had a nice amount of sacks. And then we had 2 interceptions this game too. So the defense did a good job despite that high score that you see in the game. I'm happy. We're still gonna need a lot of help. We gotta pretty much win it out to be competitive in the
So when you
West.
say win it out, who else do you have to beat? Because yeah, I would like to know that. So who do you need to beat?
So we're gonna beat Alcorn. Alcorn doesn't look that good.
Why do you keep saying it like that? It's my Chicago
Yeah,
accent.
it's my Chicago
No, it's not.
accent.
It's not. All corn. We're
Okay,
gonna beat
Alcorn.
Alcorn. All corn.
We're gonna be like we say car instead of car, right? In Chicago. I had to break myself, so thank you for helping me break. Um Alcorn. We have to be Alcorn, which
Right. You
I
have
don't think
to.
I don't think that's gonna be a difficult win.
Okay.
We have to beat UAPB. I don't think
Big
that's
PV, not the little one.
exactly. Exactly.
Y'all are
We have
talking big boy stuff. I don't even think Jackson State was talking this much.
Nah, we needed it. We needed it real bad. Um Alcorn, I don't see that being hard. Alabama State, I don't see that being really hard. Um,
They said
Miss,
that your season is. They said it's
no,
over.
it's not over. It's not
It's
over.
over.
It's not over.
Ooh, they said thank you, PV, for restoring that SWAC West order.
Absolutely. Froze up. You still there?
Okay.
It
Yeah.
froze up on my end.
Oh, okay.
I look, it's not over yet. I still think Grambling's gonna
Let
be
me
a
pull up. Let me pull up Prairie View's schedule because you over here talking a lot of
yeah,
noise.
yeah.
Good.
FAMU is our only difficult game left. We got
Only,
yeah,
only,
yeah.
only.
That's the
They
only
done
different game.
already whooped up on you. I want to know what the game plan is because if you, I don't see no different.
We got Pine Bluff Valley, Alcorn, Alabama State,
How you gonna fix it?
and FAMU. So
How you gonna fix it? Over there talking about that's your only hard game. Listen, don't be over here just you put too much dip on your chip now. You didn't think Texas Southern was gonna be a hard game either. All right, let's go through these. Let's go through the schedule that you have that you talk about. Okay, so you had your purple and gold spring game. Who won? Who won the spring game?
nah, I don't know.
Okay,
I'm not sure.
probably the offense, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay, so then you had Texas Southern. They beat they beat the black off of you.
It was a lot going on in that game. A lot going on in that game. We play TSU right now. TSU would get drugged. But shouts out to TSU. They were better prepared. They won that game. I'm not gonna shortchange TSU.
Okay, you beat Northwestern State. That was a great out of conference win. That was nice. Michigan State. We don't even need to talk about that. Okay, Sudden. So I was told that they went to Baton Rouge, Texas, and pulled out that win. I didn't know that it was called Baton Rouge, Texas, but apparently that's what it's called whenever you guys play Southern at home.
Yeah, same way we went to Mumford, Texas, and beat Southern last year in Mumford, Texas.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, you lost to Southern, and that was on the SWAC West, and it was a conference game. That was a huge loss.
Absolutely.
Huge loss. Devastating loss.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm worried about, and you could do this after this. Is Grambling schedule? Grambling don't play anybody, so with our one loss, we couldn't have lost today to Grambling because they would have had to get 3 losses.
You gotta
So
play Alabama State too.
yeah, Alabama State is trash. No Andrew Body. I'm not worried about Alabama State.
I love how everybody be like saying that the teams are trash.
No, FAMU is gonna be a test of our season. I'm gonna be honest with you. FAMU is a tough game, but having to play Valley, UAPB.
Ooh, somebody in the chat said y'all known to lose the Valley.
No, we're known to lose to Valley when we go to Valley. Yes, but
Ooh.
thank you Valley for losing. I mean, not losing for changing your field.
Prairie View will lose to Alcorn and Bama State. Book it.
Come on, stop it.
I didn't say that.
No,
I'm reading the chat.
yeah, I'm talking to him,
Oh, okay, I'm
Ladarius.
reading the chat.
Yeah, stop it, Ladarius. Stop it.
Where are you from? Nobody says Baton Rouge, Texas. Yes, they do. They call it Baton Rouge, Texas. When Southern goes to Baton Rouge, no, when Southern goes to Prairie View, they call it Baton Rouge, Texas.
They don't call it that. They
Prairie View
say
has never beaten Southern in our stadium on the hill. Oh, somebody said you'll be losing the Valley. Did you even play Valley this year? Y'all better be glad y'all. You do?
we do play Valley.
Oh,
We play Valley.
in Itabena?
Yep.
Oh, you losing.
Mm-mm.
I can't believe you had one job that year. One job. And you
Yeah.
I got Prairie View over Bammer State. Okay, so listen, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up week 6 matchups, see what we're doing. What we doing here, y'all.
Like to make this last point too. A lot of people haven't noticed this. This was our third quarterback this season starting this game. So shout out to the depth in our locker room and the depth of our team and the fortitude for the team to be able to stick together. Our starting quarterback, Lucas Coley, who went out the first game against Texas Southern. which is a big reason why we lost that game. He dislocated his shoulder on the first drive of the game. Um, and we had Cam Peters come in, did a decent job, but shout out to the coaches after halftime in this game, after being down 10 going into halftime, making an adjustment and going to our third quarterback to play this season, and Jaden Johnson pulling the game out. So that's something a lot of people gonna miss. Jaden Johnson was the third quarterback on the depth chart. Shout out to him to be able to step into the game and win the game for PV.
All right. Well, it looks like you guys are on a bye week, or are you guys playing Nichols? What are y'all doing? No. Oh no,
No,
you guys
we
play
play
Valley
Incarnate.
next weekend. Oh, you guys.
That's
Oh,
November 2nd.
I'm too far up.
Yeah. We play
I'm
Incarnate
way
Word.
up.
We
All
play
right.
Incarnate Word next week.
Oh, y'all getting ready to get y'all ass. Prayers and sorrows. Prayers and sorrows. Prayers and sorrows. Prayers and sorrows.
No, these out of conference games, I know people don't really look at them, but they really are confidence boosters. And these games are really showing the fortitude, the skill set. And I don't think a lot of these SWAC teams are doing themselves any service by playing D2 schools and playing other SWAC schools for out of conference games.
Listen, if I'm gonna play an out of conference game, either I'm gonna play with another HBCU where I can do a home and home that's gonna actually generate income, or I'm gonna play an FBS team. I'm not gonna play Incarnate Word. Is Incarnate Word coming to Prairie View?
Yeah, that's a home game for us.
When they come in next year?
Yes, but here's what you don't understand. Texas football is huge, and there's a battle for recruiting. There's a battle for portal, and this is one thing that I've noticed. When we play these schools, we get a lot of visibility from recruits and players on
I'll
our team.
play Campbell again. I'll play somebody in the CAA, but it doesn't
Okay.
like for instance, there's no reason to not. Like we could play Hampton or North Carolina A&T. They're in the CAA and they're HBCUs. By that, if you're going by that, or the OVC, we can play Tennessee State. Number one, you're going to generate more revenue, and you're still playing somebody from a PWI conference.
No, I don't have a problem with that.
I mean, I don't know why they say SWAC needs to play. You guys just got skull drugged by McNeese. What lesson did you learn from playing McNeese? What confidence did you build by playing McNeese or any of the other FCS teams? The only one that I seen that y'all won was Northwestern State. Everybody else.
Oh, we didn't play McNeese. But
no, I'm saying out of all of the out of conference games that people are playing on an FCS level, the only ones that I saw actually win, you guys beat Northwestern State, but for the most part, we lose.
Yeah, and so what I'm explaining, which is unique to Prairie View, is there is a big talent and player grab around the state of Texas. So with Northwestern State being a Texas school and us beating them, so guess what? We had two players formerly from Northwestern State on Prairie View team.
So you're stealing their players.
Yeah, a lot of this is recruiting.
Well,
a lot of them is seeing our facilities. A lot of this is them seeing what kind of team we are, and so a lot of these kids at Incarnate Word or at a Northwestern State, they look around, or Texas State, around Texas football, and a lot of these kids went to high school with one another too. So in grasping for jockeying for people that might want to hit the portal, they're like, you know what? PV does get a lot of little shine. I like their facilities. I like how they carry themselves. I like, even though we might have beat them,
worry about yourself, PZ.
So that's kind of like what PV is doing.
I see what you're saying. So for us, and maybe that's just a Jackson State thing, right? Jackson State is able to compete with and recruit just based off of name recognition, and then if they come to our school and they come to one of our games, they come to homecoming, they came to the different things like that. So I'm looking at this and I'm just like you guys play Texas A&M Commerce this year, right?
Yes.
Don't you play them?
Yes, we played them for homecoming.
Okay, like I don't know. I just don't see any of these names recognition, like Tarleton, Weber State, McNeese, Nichols, Houston Christian, Texas A&M Commerce. Those don't have more name recognition than a Jackson State or a Grambling or a Southern. I don't feel like it, right? I don't need to see. You got to see how good you are. Try and get a home and home before you play. So we don't have no problem with doing home and homes. And once again, the problem is that a lot of these schools will not come to the HBCU first. So you end up going to their home and then they end up just buying out the contract. This is like standard PWI FCS home and home 101. You can schedule it, and a lot of them will just let you come to their place and then they'll buy you out for the end of the contract. For us, I feel like we don't need to prove ourselves to anybody because we're trying to go to the Celebration Bowl anyway. Why do we need to prove ourselves? I mean, we played against ULM and we actually played them pretty decent. A ULM that actually ended up beating UAB. I think they beat Troy today. Who else did they beat? That ULM team is pretty stout this year. So I feel like that game alone was good enough. Yeah. The ULM is now 3-1. So I feel like that game was definitely seeing where we matched up. We lost to them 14-30. They beat UAB 32-6. They lost, of course, to Texas. And then they beat Troy 13-9. And so I feel like that game alone lets us know where we're at. We don't need to schedule a game with that type of conference. But Sid, thank you for coming on here and bragging.
No problem. Thanks for having me. I always got to make my rounds and represent Prairie View because I know we don't get around as much. So see you next week and look forward to seeing PV and Jackson State in the SWAC championship and PV going to the Celebration Bowl.
All right. You can see that in your dreams, Mr. Brass. Not him trying to say Prairie View and Jackson State gonna be at the Celebration Bowl and he said Jackson State and Prairie View gonna be in the SWAC championship and Prairie View going to the Celebration Bowl. Man, stop it. You just beat Grambling, but you got a long way to go, sir. You got a couple more wins on that sheet. Right. All right. Okay, so I feel like I ain't done my just due, man. You see how he was bigging up Prairie View? I feel like I need to do the same for Jackson State to close it out. Look. Dun, 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 Y'all, I'm being so loud and my son is on the couch. Sleep. Get your lick back, Timona. That was talking that hot shit. Boy, I was so mad last week. I was so mad, right? And I'm gonna show you what let me see if I can pull it back up. Because this is exactly what Coach TC said. All you folks talking about he need to pick and choose. He need to pick and choose what he want to do. I didn't say he need to pick and choose. What I said was you're going to be held to a higher standard because you chose not to. Because you chose not to get a offensive coordinator, you're going to be held to a higher standard. And this is what Coach TC said to everybody that was talking hot poop last week.
Stop playing with my fucking name. All three of y'all, stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
You done cursed us out. Get it off your chest, Birdman.
I just come to let y'all know, stop put some respect on my name.
You heard him. Put some respect on my put some respect on my name. Oh, I dropped the link. Peasy, please. You beat Valley. We beat Texas Southern. We are not the same. Okay? And that loss was a non-conference game. So let's talk about the keys. Prairie View restored the order. Prairie View, you know you in third place. Okay. I was trying to look at it, but it's not updated yet. Let me see if I can find the SWAC, because sometimes they take a little bit to update the SWAC rankings. And I know, like, when you look up the SWAC rankings on Google, sometimes they don't have it right because they have that Grambling loss for Jackson State. Okay, they got it right. Okay. Oh, all right. Let me pull this up for y'all. I don't know where Prairie View's going. No, Prairie View's like second to last. All right. Let's look at these rankings. Y'all tell me if these rankings are right. It says, how do you feel about the quality of SWAC football this year? I feel like it's competitive on both sides, SWAC East and SWAC West. I absolutely feel like it's closer. There's not like a big separation, right? I think it's all about consistency, right? Because Jackson State, that win against Southern, boy, I felt like we was like untouchable. And then we got hit in the mouth by Grambling. And then what do? We hit Texas Southern in the mouth again. So, okay. Currently, Big JSU in first. Big JSU. 1-0 in conference play. 3-2 overall. 2-0 at home. 1-2 away, and we're on a 1-game win streak. Alabama State is in second place because they had a bye last week. That's right. So Alabama State had a bye last week. So they're 1-0 in conference play, and that was, of course, a win against Bethune Cookman today. 2-2 overall. 1-0 at home, 1-1 away, and they're on a 1-game win streak. And next week they play FAMU. So this is going to be a big game for Alabama State at home. And of course, with FAMU, I feel FAMU hasn't played any SWAC games. So this is the big test, right? To see, is FAMU like that, or is it just all fool's gold? Alabama A&M is in third currently. Can you guys see that? Let me see if I can make it bigger. Make it bigger for you guys. SWAC East. All right. Alabama has not played a conference. Alabama A&M has not played a conference game. As you know, they were supposed to play Florida A&M, but that game is postponed to Black Friday. So that is a big switch, right? To not have to play a game this week. So you have a bye week. And they're 2-2 overall, 2-0 at home. They played, of course, Kentucky State at home, and one other D2 team. I forgot. Oh, I'm sorry, Doc. Hey, what's up?
Nothing, just got back in from the game. I told y'all I was gonna get my turkey leg when I went to the game.
Damn, that's a big
But
ass turkey leg. Are you
the
sure that's
crowd,
from a turkey?
that is from a turkey.
Look at how big
Steroids
it
and
is. Put
all.
it in the camera again. Put in the camera again.
I told y'all I was getting my turkey leg.
Big ass turkey leg. How much was it? $20.
$20.
I know they be they be taxing for them
No,
turkey legs.
but you know what though? Because it's state fair, so that we use you use your coupons. So it like 22. It was like 22 coupons, but everything was straight. It used to be more than that, but they went down on it. But I
Yes.
just got back in from the game. So quick break. It was my mom,
Did you get your credentials
my
for
niece.
this?
I did not get it. I was in the stands just like everybody else.
Okay.
So I waited too late, and I didn't know who was a home team this year. So it was Grambling was a home team. So I didn't get a chance to do it. So I'm gonna get it next year. Yeah, it's a brontosaurus leg. But
Right.
no, man,
What is
it was
that?
a
It's
great.
huge.
It was a good game. It was a good atmosphere. I think we had probably
So
about
can you explain to
50
us
some
the
thousand up in
5
there.
overtimes? Can you explain to us the 5 overtimes?
So 5 overtimes. Now let me go ahead and kind of say this because we left out of the game in the third quarter because when mom and them her back started bothering her. So we left out and we walked and we went to go get our food and the game was tied. They tied the game up at 17-all, and then while we were waiting on for our food, it was 24-17. So
Right.
I guess the way that the regular overtime is you score, they score, you keep going. But this time it's like, okay, instead of just going for the touchdown, I guess they were trying to go for the 2-point conversion to see basically who will win the game. It was I said this week. I said every time this game come around, you don't know what's going to happen because for the first 3.5 quarters, 3 quarters, Grambling was pretty much dominating this whole game. Grambling dominated the whole game, and it was so crazy because I was actually watching that game and listening to Jackson State, Texas Southern on my phone. So it went into 5 overtimes, Miss Coleman. And like I said, I left in the middle of the third quarter, so that's the reason why. But I kept listening to it. I was listening to it while we was on our way back to the house.
Well, how about them Jackson State Tigers?
Hey, I think our quarterback situation is over with. I think we got our QB. It's number 15. I feel like I said, we got to ride with 15 or we're gonna go down in flames with them. But yeah, I think but I think the game was good though. It was a good game to test our defense, to make sure our offense was get going. Give Mr. Mulligan the damn ball.
So, what do you grade here? I'm gonna do a poll. What do you grade the offense today? I'm gonna do a poll. What do you grade Jackson State's offense?
I'm gonna give it an A-. I'm gonna give it an A- because I think we missed some throws. But Jacobian, when he didn't see anything open, he took off. He took off running, and that's something that I was looking at. That I was wondering what he was gonna do. Like, are you just gonna go in there and just try to stare down your receiver and then take the sack, or are you gonna look off here, look off there, and then see if there's something open and take off running? And he took off running. So I think our offense did way much better. And no penalties. I think if we had minimal penalties.
Oh no, we had some penalties, all right.
I mean minimal. I ain't saying like 11, like 10 or 11 penalties
we
in the
had
game.
some badass penalties, especially in the second half, and some of them was kind of like, I'm gonna pull them up for you. Yeah, we definitely had some penalties in that second half. Shamar Hawkins got ejected.
I heard about that.
I want to say the Texas Southern offensive player did something to Shamar, and then he reacted. That's what I want to say happened.
Yeah, because they're gonna go off on the second reaction.
What you mean off the second reaction? They needed to have caught the first reaction or the first thing that happened.
Because most referees don't look for the first.
Okay, so and this is the thing, like this particular game, it affected us a little bit, right? Because they were able to score on a couple of those situations. Mm-hmm. Any other time, that could have been very dangerous for us. We were 6 of 82. 6 penalties for 82 yards versus Texas Southern 6 penalties for 39 yards.
Well, it was an even.
How you doing, Brother Bakari?
I'm good. What's going on?
We're just doing an overview of these Jackson State Tigers and their impressive dominating performance in Houston.
It was very impressive. You know what I think you saw tonight? Something I believed anyway. You saw the real offensive MVP in the SWAC. I'm being honest. I said it. I said it before the first practice. People gonna see Jacobian Morgan is one of the best, if not the best in all FCS. Not just HB. Jacobian Morgan is the truth. And I'm going to show you what set the difference, right? One thing in the second quarter, I just heard you, Doc. You say you ain't watched the game. You were listening.
I mean, I've been watching and I listened to it.
I think it was the second quarter when on the one drive and he went through his progressions. And when he dropped back, he looked to the right. When he went through his progressions to the right, to the left, a little pressure got on him. He stepped up and he saw his third receiver across the middle. And it seemed like someone that has been coached to do play.
That's when he connected with Tyquan Henderson, number 4, right?
Yeah. Yep. And that seemed like someone that's been coached. Our other quarterback, McCoy, got his time. I promise you, because I think McCoy going to be a beast too. His time is coming. But right now, it's just Jacobian time. And I think when this team is completely healthy, the way that defense, oh my goodness. And I don't know what Texas Southern offense, but Jackson State is the truth. If they just stay, Jackson State just play discipline. If Jackson State just play discipline, Grambling is not on the level of Jackson State. I was watching. Grambling is not on it, even though they won. And people gonna say, "How can you say that they beat Jackson State?" It's not on the level.
Hey, Bakari, I was at the game tonight. I looked at that team. I'm like, I don't know how in the hell we lose to this team right there. And I'm going through
because he was in the hole.
And I
tell you why. I can tell you why.
Go ahead.
Jackson State was their Super Bowl, and we kind of looked past them a little bit. Now, ain't nothing wrong with being cocky. I think you have to be cocky in order to be good. You have to know you good, in my opinion, to be good. But I don't think you can look past them.
Right.
And they were excited for Jackson State, and we go into the game knowing that we're better. We just know we better. It ain't nothing they can do with us. And We need to understand every game we play. I'm glad we were able to get out early on Texas Southern, but every game we play on that road, every team is going to come out with the same type of energy that Grambling had, because they want to shut up the cocky. They want to shut up the arrogant Jackson State Tigers. Everybody, I'm telling you, and we need to be ready for that. But I heard you ask a grade. I'll say B plus to A minus, simply because of like our 2-minute offense is not there yet. I can tell they're working on it, the 2-minute offense. And I saw some people put in the chat, forget what I was watching, it was Rev, and they said Coach TC is horrible at play calling. Coach TC, in my opinion, did a good job tonight, with the exception, he did a damn good job, in my opinion, with the exception of the 2-minute offense. And I think that is something we're going to have to work on is the 2-minute offense. But the defense.
When you say 2-minute offense, okay, so we were back to getting ready to go into for the second half, right? Getting ready to go into it's 13-0 at this point. They don't even have a score. What does he call? A pass play, and it gets hit a little bit. If that defender would have had hands, we would have been in.
But I see, that's
when
me.
You say 2-minute offense, you just mean basically the running, right? Like,
no, I'm trying to go score. The last 2 minutes, my 2-minute offense is for me to try to get in a position to at least get a field goal. Yeah, to at least get a field goal.
Yeah, you want to. So your 2-minute offense, basically, you try to. So 2-minute offense before halftime, you basically just trying to go in, either get a field goal or you trying to score a touchdown.
That part, run the clock.
I mean, but you can run out the clock. But I'm trying to. But at the same time, I'm trying to establish if I'm a team.
So for 2-minute drills, I mean, that would all just be receivers on the side, when you hike the ball, the receivers going to the outside, right? Because obviously if you're going to be passing, you need to be passing towards the outside so that the receiver can get the ball and run out, or the running back needs to be running towards the line. That way, if you do get tackled, you're going to get tackled out and they're going to stop the clock. I mean, I feel like 43 points, I feel like that was a great game. We might have left maybe those first two was 6 and it should have been 14. So it would have been a 50 piece, right? If we would have scored on those two drives.
It would have been more than that.
You're right. Now I agree on one of those. When we first went down there, the first two, we should have got touchdown. But I'm glad to see we got a good field goal kicker.
G baby.
Yeah, we have a good field goal kicker. Man, Phillip Webb, the whole defense showed up. The whole defense showed up. And I was glad to see Phillip Webb, because he always pressuring the quarterback. I was glad to see him get him one tonight. He got him a sack, but the whole defense, and I'm telling you, man,
the whole offense until the fourth quarter. And that was literally penalties and just once you get ahead that much and you're going to win, getting a little messy towards the end. But I love the way the defense played, which I love the way they played last week outside of just getting those short fields.
Yep. That defense, the truth. The offense is too, man, and look in the way they use those running backs. It's like the NFL. Ain't no more bell cows. You're gonna have 2-3 running backs, but man, they are so damn deep. And that Marcus Dupree grandson, the great Marcus Dupree, his grandson is there at Jackson State, number 2. When they say Dupree, that's Marcus Dupree grandson.
Talking about Janaylin?
Yeah, number 2, that's Marcus Dupree grandson.
Okay. You got some Jets on them.
yeah, that's Marcus Dupree grandson. Man,
on
I'm gonna say this. We better start donating to the damn NIL collective. That's the only thing. Because boy, that Jackson State got some talent, man. Jackson State got some damn talent. Jackson State got some talent. It's young talent.
They was making NIL plays today.
Yeah, we better start donating. We
It's
better
saying
start
Guthrie's
donating.
with the interception and the tackle.
He
for
had 2
loss.
sacks, right? Didn't he
Yeah.
have 2 sacks? Guthrie had an interception and 2 sacks, right?
I missed that one. I missed the interception. I
Let me
did see
see.
the second sack, I think.
Let me see what he was doing.
I think he had 2 sacks and an interception. I thought he was going to take the interception to the house.
I did too. He had 2 solo tackles. It says he had 2 solo tackles.
Oh, they didn't call them sacks. Well, maybe it was just a quarterback run because you don't
He
know.
had
But he got
a quarterback hurry. Yeah, it was a quarterback hurry. Now Nobles had 20 sack yards. McDaniels had 7. Pulliam had 8. Philip Webb had 5. And then of course Isaias Guthrie had 1 interception for 28 yards. It was just like a dominant defense. Outside of those penalties in the second half, I feel like if we didn't get those penalties, it would have absolutely been a complete shutout.
now. I think that first penalty on number 25. I don't think that was a penalty because the quarterback was still in bounds when he went to make the tackle.
Right.
And
The
he was
quarterback was trying to stay in bounds. You know how you kind of
yeah. Then he stepped out,
protest
but the dude
at the
and he had
right there at the line. You kind of
yeah.
stutter step to try to stay in line. Then he just kind of turned.
But what he had already started, or he had already committed to the tackle, and he was diving on the ground. It ain't like he could pull up because he had Doe to hit him on the legs, to take his legs from under him.
They said that TC did that play call when it was 4th and 7 on our side of the field. TC said we going for it.
Now I didn't understand that one, but on that 4th, but on that, that was that 4th and 6 that worked, right? When Jacobian had the one thing I like Jacobian, I don't think he liked to run. He knew how to move around in the pocket without getting
That's what I
sacked. I
was
think
saying.
he run if he have to run.
Right. Like I was saying, he's timid to run because he's still looking at progressions and like, dude, I understand you want to keep your completion percentage at a high rate, but at the same time, we got to get these yards. You know what I'm saying? You got to get.
He's doing a Shador holding on to the ball. That's what Shador
Yeah, he's
does.
moving. Yeah, but he's moving around in the pocket, looking to pass the ball. He run when he have to run on that 72-yard, the one he kept, that 72-yard, that 72-yard touchdown run he had. But man, you got to give props. You know that damn that receiver. I can't say his name. Fertillion, is that how you say his name?
Jonas Fortillion, number 16.
Yeah, him, Isaiah Spencer. Now, Landy, I don't know what he did tonight, but our tight end, man, I'm telling you, Jackson State is stacked. And every alum, what they asking for that, every alum need to be given to that damn NIL collective. Jackson State is stacked. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to go back to the first game. And I know that's an FBS school, and the people say it don't matter, but it mattered to me. And I still think, look what ULM is doing now. They're 3-1.
We just talked about that. They beat Troy.
Because they lost. They only lost was to University of Texas, was it?
Yep, the only game that was the University of Texas.
The number 1 seed in the nation.
And if we take away some of those mistakes we made in crucial situations, I'm telling you, I heard Mr. Ford say last week that North Dakota State is an FBS school in FCS clothing. I'm going to say this right now. Jackson State.
Oh, Lord. Brother Bakari, what you about to say?
Is an FBS school with Jackson State talent, is a group of 5, group of 6 school in FCS clothing. That's what Jackson State. You look at this team and you see the talent. That's what Jack is. I don't think it's a fluke that Jackson State was able to hang around with ULM. And think about it. Who didn't play in that game for Jackson State, by the way?
McDaniel.
Spencer didn't play. The running backs, I can never say his name right. Irv Mulligan. Did JD Martin? He didn't play in that game either, did he?
Nope.
Well, if you wanna challenge it, then get up in here. He's over here talking about put it down, please. They didn't like when you said that.
When I said
J.D.
what?
Martin, McDaniel, Robert
They didn't like when I said
McDaniel.
what? They didn't like
Yeah,
when I
Robert
said what?
McDaniel didn't even play the
Robert
first
McDaniel
half of the
didn't
game.
play.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, I believe FAMU is one too.
They've
It ain't
been in
just
the
Jackson.
chat, Ed. They've been listening, Ed.
Look,
They ain't
but I'm
got
gonna
nothing else to do. They
Either you
got
say
a bye
something
week.
bad about FAMU or you say something real good about Jackson State. They can't help themselves.
But I'm gonna tell you, but it's not, and I'm glad to
Hey,
see
y'all.
HBC, and I'm glad to see HBCU stepping up. I'm glad because I think a couple of years Jackson State and FAMU will be. Because look, I don't think it's a. Just think about it like this: before Troy, because they were Troy State back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before they went FBS, where they were able to get more scholarships and they could outlast an HBCU. Go look and see. SWAC schools used to beat them. Alcorn was 2-1 against them. Then they just moved up and got more scholarships. And people would go and think, I'm just saying, I think we have a few HBCUs that's that's at that level, and in a couple of years, we're able to beat some of those schools on a regular basis. I really and I'm not just saying it because I see everything through Jackson State and
Rose-colored
HBCU
glasses.
glasses.
Yeah.
I just really believe that. When you see Jackson State talent, and y'all need to donate to them NIL collective so we can keep this talent. But when you see when you see the talent that we have,
Yeah, I think that they're missing the point, which is that Troy beat FAMU, but Troy lost to ULM, and that game, Jackson State actually scored more points against ULM than Troy did. So ULM scored, I want to say, it's 12-7. Let me see what that score was. Hang on just a second. Let me pull it up. I did just pull it up, but I'm going to pull it
And
up
the
again.
best thing you want ULM to do is to keep winning, because that makes the game that we play at the beginning of the year, it kind of makes it look good on us.
Yeah. So it looks like they beat them 13-9. So ULM scored 13 points. Troy scored 9. We scored 14 points versus ULM. And then it was 14-30. But if we're keeping it a buck, that those extra 14 points that they scored on us was late.
And then look at the thing with Troy when Troy played FAMU, right? Last week, right?
How many points did they score?
FAMU scored 12, but they left a lot of points on the board, and Troy ran away, and it was like 34. I think it was 34-12. But look at how the game was played. It was played like really close. It was a close game in the
They
first
just
half.
kind of, I think what happens is, and that's just a part of FBS versus FCS matchups, is you're going to see the FBS be able to separate in the second half. And the reason they're able to do that is because, like Brother Bakari says, they have more scholarships, they have more players.
hey, can I respond
So
to Peasy right quick? Peasy
Yeah.
said we're scared to play the top FCS schools. You know what, Peasy? Guess what? I don't disagree, but that don't mean they're better. Anybody who ever heard me talk always talk about why we never go out of our conference and play those FCS schools. I don't want to just be the best black. I'm the best black. No, we want to be the best. So I agree with you, and I do think we need to get out of that. We don't want to play those schools. I don't think those schools. You say how many of those top 15 FCS schools can?
When you actually play those schools, though, what ends up happening is you have to add an extra money game to your schedule. When you go and play there, okay, so I feel like
So let me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
unless if they come to us first, then yeah, we'll schedule that game.
See,
and Blue's in here. Blue, a lot of times when FCS schedule HBCUs and it's a home and home situation, they will let the HBCU go to their school, and when it's time for them to come to the other school, they just buy them out. So no, I'm not getting ready. You come to us first, then let's talk. Like I wish people would stop saying Jackson State needs to prove themselves first. No, we don't. We don't gotta
But
prove
you know how
ourselves.
but you know how we stop that, Timon? This is my personal opinion. Let them buy their way out, right? I
No,
don't care about them buying their way out, but
I
I'm gonna go
do.
to your house. I'm gonna go to your house and I'm gonna beat you. He asked
No,
in it. He asked in the chat, who can
no, I'm
beat?
not. I'm not getting ready to fill your stadium up with my fans because that's what Jackson State does. They travel. And if we're gonna say that, then we should be able to schedule a Hampton that's in the CAA, a North Carolina A&T that's in the CAA, a Tennessee State that's in the OVC, and that way we should be competitive, right? They're in those conferences, and on top of that, you're going to be able to
So
make your money.
so let me ask you a question, right? Jackson State is considered the home team this year against Alabama A&M, right?
Mm-hmm.
For what?
What
The Gulf Coast Challenge?
They are playing in Mobile on a neutral site. So we are still going to fill up somebody else's stadium and do something for somebody else's city where we really don't get nothing out of the deal. That Classic should be home and home. So
That's why they didn't schedule North Dakota State. They didn't want to come to Jackson State first.
I got you, and I got you, and I understand that. But guess what? You don't have to play the North Dakota State. Where's Nickel State?
Thibodaux, Louisiana.
That's what I thought. So what I'm saying is, we can play. Me personally, and I know when I say this, it bothers people. Grambling wouldn't have been on my schedule this year. It wasn't a conference game. I would have been looking to play a Nickel State, a Magni State. I would have been looking to play one
of those teams.
I would have been looking to play one of those teams. That's who I would have been looking to play. Because being the best black, that's something we've been for a long time. But see,
I think that's one of those home and home situations. I want to say Grambling came to us for the WC Gordon.
Well, they still kind of owed us from when we
I think they've already completed that. You're talking about
completed that one. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's about right.
And plus, those Alabama A&M fans, they said that they don't feel like going to an unsafe city. It says JSU is getting $425 to play in Mobile. We wouldn't make that money at home playing A&M.
You don't think we could get 30,000 fans against A&M?
No, but okay, so here's the thing. This is what I always say when everybody says, go play these people, go do this, go that. And that is when we play these home and home matchups, it has to make sense, right? So the reason why we play like Southern, regardless of whether or not they're on schedule, and we had them for 2 years for the off schedule, is because the substantial amount of money that we make from that Southern game, it's enough to pay for 2 money games in the clear, right? So for instance, if we're getting 350 to 450,000 from any type of like FBS team to go play for them, Jackson State is going to make and clear 900,000 in the clear. So that means you basically made 2 money games 1 year, and you're going to travel to Southern or you're going to travel to Grambling for less than $25,000.
Another reason why they want to play, they keep Southern on the schedule is because it's a rivalry game and they don't want Southern to drop off. So when we play our conference games, so like next season, Southern will be a conference game. It will count. But in the other years, they don't want to drop their game out because it's a rival. They don't want to keep dropping it.
This
how much is a ticket? How much is a ticket? How much is a ticket?
That pointed out that we had $26K at Lane, like even having 26K at Lane, when you
How much is a ticket?
let's just say, I want to say I'll do the low end. So I'll do
$30.
yeah, 30. That's $780,000, not including parking and all that other stuff.
So
So
that's what I'm saying.
basically,
So
even and then 26K is higher than most of all of FCS teams when they have these games, unless they're like rivalry games, right? So basically, what I'm saying is our home games matter. We make our money, and some scheduling certain teams out of conference for Jackson State, it's more than just about proving competitiveness, because we don't get money from Mississippi. We get all of our revenue from ticket sales. So basically, we have to be strategic in who we play.
see, when I say don't play at Mobile, right? I'm saying you can still have the classic, right? See, Jackson State is like Jackson State is an anomaly, and they're in a great position. Like whoever handling Jackson State business, let me explain what I mean, right? You can show those businesses around Jackson. This is the type of money Memphis made. The businesses around Memphis made from the Southern Heritage Classic when we went there and played, right? So we're gonna do the Southern Heritage Classic, but it's gonna be home and home. Tennessee State gonna be here. So this is the amount of money we expect to come to this city. But in order for us to bring this classic here, y'all have to start donating to us every year. Jackson State is in a great position, and they are not. We don't use our power, because those people, regardless of how they feel about Jackson State, guess what they want? They want that money. So they'll start donating $10K a year when they know they're gonna make $50K over that weekend.
We don't care. I don't know about y'all, but I don't care about rankings in the top 25 and playing in the FCS playoffs, who's trying to figure out what they're going to do and how they're going to navigate against the new FBS playoffs. Like, I see FCS playoffs possibly being obsolete in the next couple of years, or they're going to have to restructure it some way anyway. HBCUs that are in the SWAC and the MEAC are isolated from that. Everybody else, it's up for grabs. The CAA is going to shift and do something else. You're going to see schools leaving. There's so much chaos in college football right now, and instead of looking at what everybody else has or what they got, you know, who
I ain't worried about what they got. I just want to beat them.
Which kid has a better chance of getting drafted playing McNeese?
To me, I don't.
We've played if the SWAC as a whole has out of conference matchups, it's just not Jackson State. So Austin P, who else did they play? McNeese, Nichols, Texas A&M Commerce. What they play? The Raging Cajuns for FBS, and it wasn't close. They went and played East Michigan, or no, Michigan State. That was what Prairie View. Like, none of these games are getting anybody closer to getting drafted. I'm sorry, they're not. Like, let's just keep it a buck. No, who got on the map playing McNeese? Is McNeese even on the map for people to look and say, yeah, if you play good against McNeese, I'm going to draft you? No, if you're good, they'll find you.
I agree with that if they're good, they will find you.
I know Jada Byers is on NFL's radar, right? Where he plays for Virginia Union. He plays for a D2 school.
Yeah, he's on the radar, but because they're gonna knock him down because of his size.
No,
he's only like 5.
I don't know about his size. I don't know about
That's
his
what I said.
size, but
Yeah, he's only 5'6".
Okay. Well, like, there's a couple of players that are in the NFL now that were on D2. It's just, you know.
Yeah, one of them starting cornerback for Kansas City. At least he was. I don't know if he's still with Kansas
I don't
City
know.
or not.
He's still there.
But
I'm
not asking for respect from people who don't respect you as a whole anyway.
No, I ain't asking him. Oh, I ain't asking him to respect you. I just want to beat him.
We're just playing Hampton next year. Hampton's in the CAA. What's wrong with that?
They
Well,
don't look at
they're
it. They look at it as being because you're playing another black school. You're not
They're in
playing. You're
the
not.
CAA,
They don't
and
even
they
look
got
at it
their
like
ass
that.
smacked by William and Mary. So stop asking for respect from people who that's not going to gain you any respect. And these people are all in the same conference, and they beat them to sleep 7-49. And you know who else is getting beat to sleep by all the schools? North Carolina A&T. They getting whooped by the HBCUs and the PWI. They're just getting whooped.
now you know what, but I do think where we in a great position right now, HBCU. HBCU football is the coaching is getting better. You starting to see some of the quarterbacks are being developed. Some of the quarterbacks are being developed. You can see the coaching again, and that's what I do think McCoy gonna be a star, but McCoy got to be developed, and once McCoy get that developed, I think McCoy is a star. I think McCoy is a star in the making, and he's gonna have his shot. You know who McCoy remind me of? Doc, I can't remember his name, but he played quarterback for Michigan a long time ago.
Talking about Denard Robinson.
Yeah, that's
Shoelaces.
that's who McCoy remind me of. But you know what they did to Denard Robinson
Turned
at
into a
Michigan?
running back wide receiver.
They never. I'm saying at Michigan, if you think about it, they never developed him either. They
Oh
just
yeah,
let
yeah,
him
they
play.
did.
They just
Mm-hmm.
let him play on his athletic ability. And I think this is a good thing for McCoy not to start this year. He gonna get an opportunity to be developed, an
Put him in the
opportunity to
slot.
be coached.
Put McCoy and put McCoy in the slot.
No,
Let him be wide receiver like TC. TC shifted from quarterback to wide receiver.
Yeah, but the reason why he shifted from quarterback to wide receiver because it was a bad man on the sideline named Superman Robert Kent that was waiting in the wings. But then too, TC was also an option quarterback when he came out of high school. He was a left-handed option quarterback, and it was basically what it was. It was that because you had Robert Kent on the side on the sideline, you had TC in the waiting, and then but our quarterback at that time was Mark Washington. So basically what they was trying to do was Coach Hughes, because this is after Coach Carson passed away. Coach Hughes was trying to kind of put both, like kind of mix and match with TC and Mark, because Mark ain't gonna run the ball for nothing because he was a pocket passer, he was a gunslinger. And then TC, because he was an option quarterback, he was a left-handed option quarterback who didn't really have the touch on the pass, but he had a strong arm. So you try to put them all out there, and it kind of worked in certain ways because we was able to run the ball more effectively when we had TC in there when he was a quarterback. But then once you got that bad man named Robert Kent come in to play, you bring TC, like, okay, let's move you to receiver. And then when he moved to receiver, he became the man. Like,
right. So Mr. Moore says both SWAC and non-SWAC podcasters say week in and week out that SWAC coaching is horrible. So if your coaching is horrible at a certain game, then are they lying or are they exaggerating? Is it bad play calling? Is it bad adjustments?
Sometimes, but I think the coaching is getting better though. It need to be like
we don't even listen into other people's information, right? So we don't listen to what the CAA says about their stuff, or we don't listen to what they say about other teams. Like everybody says something about a team. If they lose by a lot or if they make mistakes, you're going to say something about it. But we're not listening in on everybody else's stuff to hear that. Like I'm pretty sure I don't know. I just feel like everybody has times where they're like, oh, they're playing bad or whatever. It could say Tarleton State has bad play calling. Lamar lost to Central Arkansas. They could say Lamar has bad coaches. Like, it's not something where you have folks from the CAA listening to the SWAC and listening to people say it's bad coaching.
Well, I can say this with
A
like
lot
the
of times it's
Lamar.
just a matter of the players aren't getting it done. Like, if you call a play and the ball is overthrown or the receiver doesn't catch it, it hits his hand and he doesn't catch it, that's not on the coach. And that's what Blue is saying. If you read some of the Big Sky threads, they're just as critical as the YouTube chats in here. That's every conference and every team. Like,
It sure is.
whenever your team loses, you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe the coach didn't make adjustments." Like,
Hey, look, it's the SEC too. If you, and I don't even really watch.
the difference
but
between them is, Brother Bakar, they be having them folks heads and they be getting them out of there. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying they talk about their coaching and play calling as well. People gonna talk
They
about
talk about them bad.
People gonna talk about Lane Kiffin like a dog all week. They lost to Kentucky, should have won. Questionable play calling. That's what they gonna say. They gonna talk about him. They gonna talk about him too. But I do believe some of the HBCU's coaching, the HBCU coaching is getting better. But for us, this Jackson State
I'll
team,
say for
I
our
want people.
coaching, you can see it. And what I mean by
Yes,
that is
yes,
our offensive line is so cohesive. You can see the difference because our coach, Manny Ramirez, he was the coach at Texas Southern. And one of their claims to fame was, of course, rushing. Like, they were number one in rushing for several years in a row, right? Manny Ramirez comes over to Jackson State, and I want to say we're currently number one in offense, but I wouldn't be surprised if I go look at our stats. I wouldn't be surprised if it says that Jackson State is number one in rushing, and that just goes to show, like, that's, like you said, coaching. Oh no, we're not number one in rushing. We're in the mid of the pack. We got Alabama State number one, Alcorn State number two, Alabama A&M number three, and then Jackson State number four.
As far as what, Russian?
That's what this says, rushing offense. But this I think once we update it, probably when we update it today, right? Because Alcorn has played 5 games. Jackson State, they haven't updated all of them yet, right? They're doing that right now. They're updating the game totals right now. So at this point in time, they do not have Jackson State's rushing totals updated yet. So I would say that we are probably number one or number 2 in rushing overall. And that's just, like you said, coaching. You can see the coaching in the defense too.
The defense played so much better today.
Okay, so the defense from last year to this year, mind you, we have a lot of players that are from last year. What was it? We were so talented last year. What was it? Defensive scheme.
Yeah. I think it was just, like I said, defensive scheme. I think getting a new defensive coordinator coming in and abiding by his scheme that he wants to do. I mean, it's working wonders. But in the meantime, when you get a new defense coordinator, it takes at least 2 years for you to actually get down that type of a scheme.
256 rushing yards. Average 6.2 yards per carry.
So we should be number one in SWAC by Monday.
I'm telling you, by Monday.
By Monday.
Team Ed Rushers.
Or by Sunday.
You got Joshua Nobles, McDaniel. I mean, look, we haven't had a rusher carry for 15 times. Coach Quinn is great. And that's just the scheme, right, Brother Bakari?
Yep. No more bell cows. You got a lot of good backs.
No, I'm talking about defensively. Our defense from last year to this year has progressed greatly, right? And I see it.
Yeah,
like
it's
I see our defense jumping off like jumping off the screen, right?
Jumping out the yeah.
You can
Yeah,
just see the intensity.
it's yeah, you're right. It is scheme. It is scheme because I'm gonna be honest with you. Just look at the ones who was there last year, like Philip Webb. You can't tell me Philip Webb.
Now Webb's gonna have to quit grabbing them folks by their shoulder.
Now, but yeah, you're right. He will do
He's
that.
just strong. He's just strong as.
Get over
but what
here.
I'm saying, but what I'm saying is right.
Ox, though.
But when you watch Philip Webb, you can see he's playing better this year. It's also it's the scheme, it's the coaching, I also believe it's the confidence. I believe it's the confidence. Because the players here to know us talking to everybody, Jackson State gonna be they may not have they had lost so many players, they ain't gonna be they may not have that confidence either. So it's the scheme, but I do think the scheme is better.
Our
the defense scheme
linebacker.
coaching. We got to upgrade. We got to upgrade a linebacker, and that Pulliam. What his name? Pullman.
Pulliam.
Oh my God! Oh
he
my
a dog,
God!
Ain't he? He a dog,
my
ain't
God!
He a
dog.
God.
He ain't letting nothing go through. Ain't nothing going through.
Dog. He's the type of player that you want on your defense, like
closing up those holes. No diddy.
I don't give a damn who is in front of me. I'm running through, like it's like literally I'm running through you. I like that type of player right there.
And Josh Nobles.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you can name them for days, and that's what I mean when I say FBS and FCS clothing.
Sherman
it's
Hawkins
the talent.
is good. Sherman Hawkins, he is good, but like you said, he's got that rawness to him that he's gonna have to quell a little bit.
Hey, highlight this what Jai Tuck, whatever his name is, just put. He said, Coach Quinn don't impress me. Put Javancy at defensive coordinator. Why? Javancy is doing well with what he's doing with special teams and the outside linebackers.
Ain't that special teams so much? Well, ain't that special teams way better this year?
It is.
It's night and day, ain't it? See, but I'm gonna tell you what I like about.
Did you see how they kicked that ball and they made sure to kick it so that they couldn't return the ball?
Yep.
That is okay. So that right there, if we would have just done that last year, we wouldn't have got our asses handed to us in
FAMU.
Not just FAMU, the other game too. Zach, you got Robert McDaniel. Who did I have? Oh, I think I got more points than you. I had Irv. I had Irv.
I had, you know who I had? I think I got
Logan.
a lot of points. I had Eric Phoenix as my quarterback from South Carolina State.
Damn, I had Irv. I can't remember who I did quarterback wise. I know who I did. I did David Wright, Clark Atlanta. I'm gonna have to check and see what he did. I know they came back and won, but I don't know. I got Irv and I had Jada Byers. Ooh, he was going off. Ooh,
who they played today?
Shaw. They played Shaw and they tore him up. Tore him up. I might be first or second place this weekend. No, so Javancy is. I like how the outside linebackers are playing. I love the way our special teams is moving as well. Like, boy, that our defense stout. We're number one. We should be after this. How many points did they score tonight? 14.
14.
I think we might be close to overtaking Alabama State.
We had two teams score more than 25 points on us, and that was ULM and that was Grambling.
I know for certain we're going to be number two. We're definitely going to be number 2 in defense, right? Because Southern is Southern averages per game. Are you able to have the same player as another team, or can you? So on this particular one for PV versus everybody, it's only one player per team.
Per team.
Oh shit! He said he had Walker Harris and Jaden Sutton.
Oh, Walker, Texas
So we
Ranger.
all should have a
That's
bunch
what.
of points this week. Nah, I ain't got them damn points. Good
Hey,
Lord. 4
hey,
touchdowns.
hey!
That's
Let
24 points by itself.
me. Hey,
Let me look up David
Simona,
Wright and see what he did tonight or this afternoon. Damn,
they
4
had played.
touchdowns.
Oh, they was in Memphis. They played Lane. I had
And
to
they
rewatch. So Timona, I went back on YouTube and I rewatched the game, the Aggie Eagle Classic, right?
mm-hmm.
And I was like, in my mind, I was talking to Josh, and I'm like, I don't believe what Josh talking about. I looked at it and I was like, he is beating these boys to sleep. Like, and then you got a coach that said, man, you can take that 66 back to Greensboro.
That
So we
coach
get
is
out.
absolutely petty.
So
Dang.
so now what we need to see consistency. We have to come out with that same energy and same everything next week for the rest of the season. We have to come out with that same energy. We have to understand every time we play somebody, especially we are their SWAC championship.
Well,
And you have to come out every week. You have to come out every week and match their energy.
Dominate.
Yeah, because if you match their energy, you're gonna dominate them. So
Right.
we have to come out and match their energy. As you say, dominate. That's what we have from the beginning. Not wait till late. We have to come out there and hit them in the mouth. We have to come out there and do what we're supposed to do. See if they can take our punch.
We got Alabama A&M next week, so that's birthday weekend for me.
Oh my goodness.
I plan to be at that game. I plan to be at that game next week.
What, Mobile?
Yep. I plan to be down there.
So, yeah.
Dang,
Yeah, if the game goes the way it's supposed to go, the U-Haul gonna be right at Madison City Classic.
Why would you say that?
Say what?
They're gonna let him finish out the season.
Yeah.
I know one thing, man.
Somebody said, forget Jackson State. They came to H-Down and shut us down like the turkey leg hurt. Yo, somebody's on here talking about because Mr. Ford said Grambling by 2 touchdowns. We gotta get Mr. Ford on here. He was over here talking that stuff.
He did say, he told me that he said that last night. I was like,
Grambling by 2 touchdowns.
I was like, hold
on. Like Mr. Ford.
Yo, that what you hear what Mr. Evans said? He said we playing against Blue is like him having insider trading.
Right. Like, why would I want to play against Blue? This is not fair. Why would I want to play against him? No, that's not fair. Y'all are cheating. Stop it. I don't want to play against Blue. Yes.
Yeah, let me see what David Wright did tonight.
I need to bring Mr. Ford to the floor. But I'm not having a show until next Thursday. I will be having Around the Block. Our Monday recap will be at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. And when is October 1st? Oh, this Tuesday, y'all. I am a special guest on the Hill podcast. Y'all, are we going to be talking mess again? Or are we going to be quiet? Are we going to be petty or not? Because the other day, when I went on and we was doing Grambling versus Jackson State, I was talking all that and then got knocked in the mouth. But I got invited to go on the Hill. I got to go back to On the Hill podcast, and they want to go back and forth. I don't know, y'all.
Go back and forth. Look, just because you lost when you can't get. Look, just because you got to still be able to go there and talk noise. Okay, that we failed. We made too many mistakes in that game. They came out, but we made too many mistakes. But we regrouped. Look what we did against Texas Southern. Look what they did against Prairie View. Let's watch how our season end,
No,
how theirs end.
that's not how you're supposed to do it, Brother Bakari. You're supposed to be like Alabama A&M. Who have you guys beaten? You guys only played Kentucky State.
Oh, I thought you said they wanted to come on there and mess with you about the
They
Grambling
played.
game.
No,
They
I
beat
was talking
Kentucky
mess
State,
about
Georgetown
Grambling.
College.
I was talking mess about Grambling. I'm talking about big boy stuff. I was just going in, and then they knocked us in the mouth. So they want me to go on Alabama A&M. I said, last weekend I said, don't send nobody. Don't ask me to be on nobody else's show. I'm not talking no mess, because then I had to get on my podcast on Saturday night after talking all that mess. So but I have to go on this one. This is my last invite, which is Alabama A&M. We're gonna be over there in the chat talking mess. Who is their quarterback again? Quad Brown. Quad, don't you come out there. You're gonna be seeing stars. That type of stuff, Brother Bakari. Joshua Noble's gonna sack you into next Wednesday. He's gonna sack you to the Magic City Classic. That type of stuff. I don't want to do that.
Sack them to the Magic City Classic.
Huh? Yeah, you want to sack to the Magic City Classic. See, that's talking mess, but tread lightly.
I don't know what he did, David Wright did, but they did win today, 38-28 against Lane.
I can't see none of their stats because I was trying to see what David White did, because at this
point,
they
haven't gotten in yet.
Blue getting 4 touchdowns, like that's 24 points right there, and not including the amount of yards. I mean, it's just like, okay, Blue, you need to be eliminated. Whose idea was it to have the pro who literally like they said, that's insider trading. See, look at y'all. Look at Jay talking about talk crazy. She said, "Don't do it."
I'll do it.
That's what I'm saying. I'll just break down the game, right?
I'll do it.
Offensively, we have not been able to see Alabama A&M. We were supposed to see them against FAMU. Prayers to everybody that was affected by the storm, whether it was flooding or your power outage. Prayers to everyone.
How bad is it in Carolina?
Oh, it's terrible. Where I am, there was just like a lot of rain and a lot of flash flooding, but not anything serious. But in Western North Carolina, they're saying that it's devastating.
Yeah, so I think
like what he has inside, like he knows who's playing. I didn't even pick Jacobian Morgan as my quarterback because I was like, dang, I don't want to pick Jacobian Morgan and then he don't start. Coach been, he been keeping it real, they're already talking mess. They said we send in the dog pound for you.
Oh, Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol. Well, I'm not worried about Paw Patrol. And the pound puppies over in Greensboro, they get beat to sleep. So
I'm getting ready to clip where A&T Roy said that we're gonna beat up on all the blacks. I gotta remember which episode that was on. Brother Bakari, an A&T alum said, "Oh no, we're gonna beat up on all the blacks."
How many?
They done lost to South Carolina State. They done lost to North Carolina
Central. Yeah.
Winston-Salem.
Winston-Salem, that's the only
barely beat them.
It's amazing how they left a black conference and their program just went down the dumpster. They left the meet.
Bark is worse than his bark is worse than his bite.
I seen Winston-Salem won today.
Okay.
They beat Bowie State 28-14. You did say Union. You did say Union beat the brakes off of Shaw.
And he be winning. I'm talking about, good Lord, can we win a little bit?
Who in third place? You?
No, I think I'm in last place now. Fooling around with y'all. HBCU. So the HBCU fantasy, which he probably is not gonna accept other people because he literally has to go check out the stats for everybody, right? Isn't that what he has to do?
Yep.
Yeah. See, here's week 4 scores.
I just want to know who is going to stop
Blue
Johnson C.
got
Smith
85
right
points. How do you even get 85 points? So right now, with week 5 of our fantasy football, I'm in last place right now. I guess the other guy dropped
I'm in
out.
5th. Who?
Yeah. I'm winning this week. I don't care. I cannot be in last place. That's not like me. I know he's got 325 points. Not fair. We trying to get Blue exited up out of there. 100. Like, come on, man.
Blue, you got to sit this one out. You got a bye week, Blue. That's what you got.
North Carolina A&T has allowed 40 points to every D1 opponent they've played this year and over 110 points the past 2 weeks. Dang, and those were against both the Blacks.
You stupid.
I'm not. That's what A&T Roy said. He said we're gonna beat the Blacks. Oh.
Hey everybody.
Hey, look, hey, Timona and Timona, thanks for letting me speak. I'm gonna listen online.
Thank you for coming.
I'm probably gonna.
Oh, we get
Thanks
ready.
for
We get ready to rack it on up. I gotta do a podcast on Tuesday and Thursday of next week. And I gotta take my son to Chestnut. Oh no, we about to wrap it on up.
I got. Let's see what I got. What do I got? We got Coach's Call on Monday.
Yep.
And we got recap. I got a recap on Monday night because I didn't do it tonight. And then shoot, I don't even know what I'm doing Tuesday. I don't even know. Oh, top 10 because I gotta go through. I gotta go through and hit the top 10. Johnson C. Smith is having a remarkable season right now. They are 5-0.
Charlotte, North Carolina, stand up.
They beat the dog doodle out of Bluefield State 42-3 tonight. Yeah, I like that team. I need to come to Charlotte to see them. Like, seriously. Only been to Charlotte one time.
You'll like it.
If I like it, will it force me to try to move out there?
No, I don't think so. Everything's bigger and better in Texas.
You're damn right.
Except
Except for Texas Southern, they got their ass beat.
Ooh, why are you talking that mess? Lord have mercy.
I talk mess. Yeah, I told you we go down there swinging and banging on them.
Yeah, you did. Okay, so on my picks, I was wrong about the Delta Devils, and I was wrong about Grambling. I thought Grambling was gonna pull it out, but
strange things happen in that
game. It was a
right
great
there.
week of football, right? And I'm ready to see what's in store for week 6. I can't believe that Jay White is in here already talking about new hires. He done went from Alabama A&M's going to win the East to who he going to hire.
Jay Tuck, who's your team? You telling me to leave that high school team alone? I mean,
talking about Texas Southern is a high school team.
Well, shoot, they from the third ward. Hey, it's around the corner from a high school. I mean, it is what it is. At the same time, I told you we were gonna go down swinging and banging. Got us some friends, and we dipping on back down to Jackson. Damn, that means for the coaches call TC gonna be in Mobile because they're gonna have that for the challenge. they had a press conference on that Monday for the challenge.
Okay. Well, all right, y'all. This wraps up another edition of She Loves These SWAC Saturdays. Thank you all for tuning in and keeping the energy alive in the comments. Jackson State blew it out the water. The SWAC never disappoints, and week 5 was no exception. From Prairie View to Grambling and their 5 overtime. And of course, Jackson State and the dominant performance against Texas Southern. This season for Jackson State, it's shaping up to look, I'm very optimistic. Before we go, don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video. Stay in the loop for all things HBCU sports. Come back on Tuesday to be in the chat with me while I go against From the Hill podcast, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Doc, for coming on, and Brother Bakari and Uncle Willie. Thank you for our special guests. And Said Brass from Prairie View. And see you next Saturday for more game recaps, analysis, and all the excitement that only SWAC football can bring. Until next time, stay blessed, stay passionate, stay positive, and as always, she loves thee. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye, everybody.
This is Jackson State. This is a visual of Jackson State and Texas. This is FAMU watching Jackson State beat Texas Southern because y'all thought we was going to lose. Here's all the FAMU folks in the chat.
All 3 of them?
You always being messy tomorrow.
There's way more than 3. They just not saying nothing. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for coming by.
I got to go back on the floor. Hi.
How you gonna fix it?
Yeah, shining.
You done messed me up the jobless visit. I done called the police because I'm doing a refund. A refund is due unto me. Don't feel like I just been abused out here today. God ain't pleased with this. You can't do the Saints like this. Boys, I don't even know if I'm gonna sit out here till the police come. I'm gonna stay out here till the police come. I'm doing refund. Because I'm doing one of me.
Go.